I started the recording. Say something?
Sure.
Okay, I was just taking the sound levels. I probably need to do this. Move this over, move this closer, move my chair a bit down. And I think this is a bit better. Uh, my mic, is being annoying with my placement and stuff. I hate the stand. It's already gone out. Anyway.
It's already gone out.
Like the stand used to stand halfway, but now it doesn't stand halfway anymore. It just broke that part or something. I don't really get it. Anyway,
Weird.
just watch this. So you can see everything on my screen. You can see my mouse and stuff.
Yeah.
Go. All right. Just for future reference, I don't really like hitbox when I'm watching matches.
Okay.
But that's if you feel like it helps you, then you should do that. I like how Demes is meshing assisted on Sat. What a big brain move. And he's holding up back. That's woke as fuck. What is okay? So before this, you were aware of what his assist is, right? Because he does tend to switch between fireball and drill, right?
I think I would assume that he's using dart.
Well, I mean, he's not, right? Oh, he is. Whoops.
Yes.
I swear to God, I thought it was a drill. I swear to God. Anyway, that's not really the point.
Yeah.
That's... If I would say if you wanted to fix that, that's nothing. Just fucking look at the screen, bro. But anyway. See, you super jump back. Which is safe as fuck. That's fair. And then you call your assist. You don't get it because you super jump back. Were you aware of that?
I tried to get the assist out before super jumping, but it's
How did you?
finicky.
Let's look at the input. So you did the super jump input, then you try to call the assist. So that's not going to work out, right?
Yeah, that's just a mistime, I guess.
Yeah. I don't really like super jumping and calling tier shot. I feel like I would rather body block people and then call tier shot. Because, tier shot comes behind you, right? Like, if we do this, she comes behind your point, and then she comes out.
Yeah.
Because of that, if you're super jumping back and then calling it, this also holds true for just about every projectile assist with Philia, but it's like a general concept thing. So you do that, right? And then you can't really protect your projectile assist like that. It's pretty whack. So I would rather stand still and then call the assist or jump back, and when you've landed, like the entire concept behind super jump back, call, tier shot. For one, it doesn't let you convert off it at all. And two, if she gets hit, then the tier shot doesn't do anything, right? Because the point of the tier shot is if you get hit, there's still insurance with that. So I think that entire concept that you're doing here is not really founded that well. So I would look to not do that. And just as a general thing, I wouldn't look to do that.
So sort of generally, I should be well in front of where the assist is coming from.
Yeah, you want to block things with your face before the assist comes out. After that, not. You kind of know what I mean. You want to body block the opponent from hitting you before your assist comes out, or as your assist is coming out. Which you do a good job of here, but because you push blocked him, which wouldn't do anything at all. You push blocked him, but you didn't push block absolute guard attempt at all. You didn't really do anything, so that push block didn't achieve much. And then because of that push block, I am pretty sure if you push block the fireball, it has more blockstone than regular. That's something you should test. I am almost certain, though, if you push block the fireball, there's more blockstone on you than if you didn't push block the fireball. And also in this spot, I was just checking block the fireball regardless, especially if my assist is coming out. But once I would do that, I would see that the assist hit and, try to pressure off it, as opposed to that, which is super delayed, partially because of the blockstone, right? And then you don't really get anything off it. You don't get anything off that. It's a sticky situation. I don't like scrambling with dart shot out because the insurance is too easy for the other Philia to make good use of it and for you to not. And again, the tier shot hit here. This is some shit's going on over here. But you jump back again. You don't really confirm the block stun at all. You don't do anything off your pressure. Okay, and you get hit here for what do you try to do? Okay. So you just blocked the assist? No, you got hit by the assist. Is that right? Let's look at the damage.
Yeah, I got hit by it.
Yeah, you got hit by the assist, which I don't like. I feel like a lot of your actions in the spot are really inconsequential and don't let you do anything. Like, they're not, they're not even like no, they're not even like low risk, low reward gambles, which is fine to do sometimes. I like to do those a bunch of times. You're like gambling for low reward, but you don't even know that you're gambling. If that makes any sense. Also, you crush like kick there, which doesn't work. Oh, you try to air dash, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you do that. Let's look at this really slowly. That one is great. Okay. You got a backdash out? Oh, you were... Oh, what the fuck? My headset is slipping off. There we go. Where we are. You got hit. Crouching leg kick, I think? I might be crouching leg kick or crouching leg punch. Either one of those. Like, you were on the ground, you were hitting some grab button, and you got hit when he was in the air. I don't know what that was about. That might have been just, like, not paying attention or something. But be aware of that. Like, look at your opponent. Look at the screen, you know what I mean? And he just standing leg kick, which is stupid. And he fucks up his combo, which is great, because his demise is really funny.
And that would have been punishable if I didn't push block, right?
The what, sorry?
That standing heavy would have been punishable if I didn't push block, right?
Philia standing heavy punch is -4, so you can fend it on block, but nothing else.
Okay.
Philia is fine to push block out. Doesn't do much. If you push block out, there's actually opportunities for you to get punishes as the normal whiffs, but that often involves calling an assist or some big move of some kind, which Philia doesn't have. So, push block there. Okay, so you push block there. You empty air dash. I don't know why. If you're air dashing, I would always commit to a button, because you would get hit regardless. So it doesn't really do anything for you to empty air dash like that. Plus, you give up that sort of pressure. Like, you do the empty air dash. You do this like super delayed, and you like flying and you like landing down. Like, this is too late. If it were to hit him, it would have like hit him already. That doesn't really explain it that well. But like, you should have done the air dash button a lot earlier, because it might have opened up an opportunity for you to hit him out of this jumping heavy kick over here. And that's one thing you do a lot, is like I always used to think you like undercompensated for your button for your air dash, but from looking at your inputs right here, I'm convinced that you're actually overcompensating for the air dash delay and just doing it far too late. And you should try to do it as fast as possible. There are some times where you're just too fast. I do that a bunch of times as well, but generally a lot of the times if you do the input as fast as possible, it'll just work out just fine. And because of that, your offense doesn't work here. It works out, I guess. But I would have done the thing a lot earlier. Okay, he Gregor's here. Demise always Gregor's, just be aware. So that's one other thing. Like, whenever you're starting a match out, just be aware of who you're fighting, right? Like, if you're playing like the matchup in the character, like Demise is a Philia, and Philia likes to mesh, and Demise loves to mesh. So just be aware of that. Like, that's like the basic part of reversal baiting. And Demise is also not the kind of player who will very often do the anti reversal bait. Like, he won't be jabbing you if you're baiting the uppercut. You know what I mean? So he's not that kind of guy. So you can generally just bait the reversal pretty easily from him. So he does this long combo. I don't like that long combo, but that somehow crossed up on you or something. Let's look at it. That did actually cross up. That's mad funny. I'll still Okay, so that was a failed Gregor PBGC. You see it right here. So obviously, like, clean that up a little bit. He just kills you. He can't kill you, actually. Not taking there is fine. I would have tech forward and tagged. You try to not tech and tag, and it works out. Actually, that might have been a better solution, because punishing the tag in the corner is really annoying and difficult. He doesn't have any bar. He doesn't snap. I don't know what you were mashing. You were mashing jab. Parasol jab isn't that great to mash. I wouldn't mash that. But I'm also not a parasol player, so I don't know what I would mash.
Might have been like mashing tech or something.
You don't need to mash take. You can like often react with it. It's not like you're mashing jab right here. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, he goes into the sweep. Backtacking in there in that spot is so. It's you might have your forward take might have gotten caught by the fireball, but at the same time, if you oh jeez, if you block the fireball, you have an opportunity to like PBGC or Pierce Block Absolute God, and like still be out of the corner as opposed to being in the corner right here. But that's difficult to do. Even Age does that stupidly at times, so I don't put it past you. Like that's totally fair to do that. And then you do the jump jab. It doesn't work out. I don't recommend push blocking in the air right here. Push block it on the ground. Okay, that messed up a little bit. Where was the dash jab? You should have been dash jumping in that spot. Dash jump jab goes a lot farther. You would have actually beat him in that spot. Actually, let's look at it. Okay, blah blah blah. And then right. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! I'll use spacebar next time. So you do this, blah blah.
Actually, I don't know if you know this, but if you press comma and full stop, you can frame by frame.
Ah, yeah, true. I just wanted to pause and go back in a little bit. But like you see this spacing right here, this is great for dash jump jab. It's not great for standing, like just regular jab, which is what you did. But dash jump jab is amazing right here. You would have got hit out of the air. You would have even probably got a happy birthday of some kind. But then that messes up your thing, and because of that you get hit. Just be aware of your spacing, really. He's dropping every single combo imaginable. You can see Gregor right here. I don't know if he knows that. But he plays against a bunch of Parasol, right? So you should know that. But Dimas is dumb sometimes. It's all good. It's Filia incoming on Filia. Filia can't double jump out, so you kind of have to hold that. That's one of the weaknesses of your team, really. Like, none of your characters can double jump out. Bullshit. So you just hold up back as you're getting in. That's fair. Push block here works out. I'm not experiencing interruptions, so the fuck up, please. Thank you very much. I don't like the full combo. Let's look at the starter right here. That what you got. Blah blah blah. You got. I wonder if you can kill him with 2 resets right here. Should be able to. Yeah, you should have been able to kill him with 2 resets right here. I would have done like, because you spent the OTG, it's kind of tricky to think of a great reset.
Left, right, or something.
You could do a restand into thing. Yeah, that would work. You could do the Gregor route, the one that I've been trying recently, which is standing heavy punch into jumping heavy kick air dash, jumping heavy punch, heavy air ball into Gregor. But that, I don't know if you should mess with that. That's like, I'm trying to learn it, and I don't know how good it is yet. So, but it would have done a lot of damage into like a reset. That definitely would have 2-touched them for sure. So I would have done that in this spot. But, like if you don't want to do that, just go for a restand into like a reversal bait or something. That's fair. So, especially since his Philly is low on life, his Fukua, he's got 2 bars, he's low on life. He's gonna mash anything and everything. As you can see, he was fucking mashing. So here we are. So I don't like the full combo because you did a bunch of Indizzy, you did a decent amount of damage, really. Not even that great amount of damage, really. Mess up the punish, do dash jab. It'll always work in that spot. Shit is happening. That was weird. Okay, let's look at it. So, sorry. Kind of tired. First day of uni. So he goes over and into a jump like kick, which is funny. So you do that. You push block absolute guard almost, but the blocks and runs out just in time. That's kind of sad, actually. I would have probably delayed my push block there, but delay push block is like something I think like that's really really hard to implement when you're kind of new. I'm trying to learn it against stage, so that's sort of the level that you kind of got to be at. I don't know. I would push like, okay, let's look at that spot again, right? So what did you push block here? So you push blah blah. So you push block the jumping heavy punch, right? I would have push block the fireball because more block stun on you, less opportunity for him to mix you up. Plus also because of the fireball, the jumping heavy punch doesn't actually end up pushing you out because of the way the push block works, which is if your push block animation gets interrupted by any block stun, the opponent stops moving out.
Yeah.
So because of that, push blocking the body didn't really accomplish much, wouldn't have really accomplished much regardless because of the assist there. I would have push blocked the fireball, but yeah. So you kind of get hit there, blah, blah, blah. A lot of that stuff is just being aware of the variables though, so I don't know how, what do you call it? How, like, important it really is. But I'm just saying that there's a bunch of things I would have done really differently that would help me in my defense and my offense scenarios. So because of that, like, okay, he does catching hate punches at round start. I don't know what he's trying to look for. He's trying to look for Aethra. I don't know what you read here. But because he did back jump last time, you tried to dash jump Aethra. Okay. Stick dashing actually has a bigger buffer than button dashing. So if you're trying to do stuff like that, I would do stick dash. I don't know if you play on stick, right?
Just a Xbox controller.
Oh, so you play on pad.
Yeah.
So I don't know how if you're like comfortable with stick dashing or not. But if you are, then I would have dash jumped, button dash there. It's like a bigger buffer and stuff. So this helps you with your read. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out in either way. I don't really like your assist call right here because the way that Demise likes to move the way Demise likes to move is oftentimes at this sort of height. This height will naturally avoid L shot. So first of all, I don't think if I was running your team, I probably wouldn't run it, but I would probably run it anyway because I'm just confident against Demise. But that's like a me thing. But your assist call's in the spot. You don't even commit to your confirm. I think CM once told me you should commit to your confirm in 90% of situations. Like, there is no reason for you to attempt that crouching leg kick sort of stuff here. It's because it's the run start. If you get the hit, you get the hit, and if you did get the hit but you didn't confirm, it doesn't really work, right? And also don't like the jumping heavy punch air dash stuff you do because it goes over their head so many times. Like, they get hit by this, right? And then you're like expecting a push block or something, and that's why you do the missed confirm or whatever. But like, I would have just dialed it in, right? And if it didn't hit, I would have done like dash jump, air dash light punch or something, because light punch has a bigger chance of hitting and a better confirmability.
I think light punch also whiffs at that range.
Sorry, what?
I think light punch also whiffs at that range. So
yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a good point. But I just don't like jumping air dash jump heavy punch anymore. I think it's a really bad option. I like jump light punch every time because like the confirmability is so much better. It would have gone over as well, but like if you're expecting that sort of stuff, I would have done that. That's one of the things I don't like. Okay, again, like the assist angle doesn't work, right? Because he just kind of goes over it. You do that. I hate this. I'm gonna use space. So he does that, and then he goes over, and then you like don't even recognize that your assist didn't hit, so you just commit. So you had to block the fireball there. If you're calling that assist, I feel like you should wait until the assist makes contact, and then you should go in, because that gives you an ample time to check if it's like preemptively gonna hit, then you can see that immediately. If it's not gonna hit them, then you can be aware and like ready to anti-air them in some way. Like if I were in your spot, right? I keep going 5 seconds. So right here, right? You see the assist come out. Like I'm already ready against Demise that he's gonna attack at this angle. So I'm just gonna standing heavy punch it or something, or DP it. DP is really good here too. Sorry. So he does that. Hey, jeez, I'm really, really tired. Sorry. And then he goes that way. He attacks your parasol, so that means it's locked out for a little bit. That means you gotta just run away. It comes back in enough time, though. Okay. Let's look at that interaction again. He runs away. You try to go under him, which is great. I actually like that a lot. Being under the other Philia, as Philia is really good because you can represent standing heavy punch there. And I don't know if you waited. I don't know if you like wait, what the fuck? Okay, so you do that, blah blah. Okay. So you try to so you did air dash jump heavy punch there. I don't like that part anymore. I would have ground dashed. Like if you see him go like hairball that way, like just ground dash at him. I feel like a lot of your spots in this thing is that like you've been given ample opportunities for you to get advantage, but I feel like you don't look at the screen well enough for you to be able to be like, yeah, he's in that spot and you should do that. And perhaps it's like a combination of lack of a strong game plan as alongside not looking at the screen well enough, but like that might be something worth looking at as well. And the only way you can really do that is one, you play a lot and actively try to focus on it. Like when you sit down to play a first to five or whatever or anything like that, or a set of any kind, you want to sit down and like make a note of what you want to fix when you want to go in, right? And I would be like, if I was in your spot, I'd be like, okay, first of all, I don't have a game plan, which you can just fix by like asking me or watching match videos. Like a ton of good players, like William Shearer is really good at, his game plan is really solid. You could I was gonna say Pooh Man, but I guess that guy's just dead now or something. Like what other people would do in that spot. Like if you're watching a match video, you should pause match videos randomly and like at like some sort of key element where somebody's above somebody or something, and then go, what would you have done, and what did they do, and whether what you did and what they did makes sense or not. Because like in this spot, I feel like this really sums up your kind of play, in the sense that you are like thinking about the things you should be doing, but you don't really look at the screen or like make decisions based on what the opponent is doing in that sort of span. And you also don't force yourself to react in that sort of spot, which is admittedly a bit difficult to do when you don't even have a game plan to begin with. But I feel like your game plans aren't really that cohesive and don't take into account a lot of different scenarios that can happen. So that's one thing I would look to fix by just writing it out and kind of just going, okay, what are the tools that I have in my toolkit? What are like, if you want to focus on like a basic toolkit at the start, I think I would recommend that, and just be like, okay, I want to focus on like using like stopping like playing an anti-air game or something. Like Poohman did that really well, right? Where he didn't really play neutral amazingly well in most spots, but his anti-air game was really impeccable. Like the level of awareness that was there was really, really scary. So like that sort of stuff, you should be looking for. So you try to air throw here. Again, like he blocked the fireball, right? So your air throw is literally not gonna work because he's in block stun, unless you think it's gonna be timed really poorly and he's gonna keep up backing here, I guess. But I don't know. I didn't really feel like that. Like a lot of game physics problem is happening here. Like I feel like there's some spot like, okay,
yeah.
What did you do here? Okay, let's look at that. Okay.
I think I'd already committed to the air throw before I'd seen him in block stun.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, first of all, you always want to body block your assist, right? You should wait for it to hit and then make some sort of movement afterwards. If you're at, what was it, range? This range. There's plenty of time for you to react if they are gonna, like, go over it or not, right? You can easily, if they're gonna full jump over it, you can just wait. If they're gonna full jump back to avoid it in some way, you can easily see that and then wave dash forward. If they like block it, then you can clearly see that and then attack after that. There's no reason for you to preempt in this spot. There's absolutely zero reason for you to do that. You're already in such a good spot, but you give it away by trying this air dash air throw. And he escapes it. Like the tier was right in front of him. He could have died for that. He should have died for that. He should have got mixed up and just destroyed, but he didn't, because you gave that up by like not really playing a great game plan. That was a good air throw, actually. That was really impressive. Okay, so you do that. Okay, what did you do? You just did a button dash. Okay, button dash forward. And air throw him out of that. And Gregor, that's great. That's fine. And get the conversion. He blocks it. That was really good. This is some good stuff. Like, that was alright. Unless, like, at the part he up backed, and you can, there's only so much guessing you can do and, like, have the guessing be criticized, so I'm not going to say anything about that. He just guessed wrong, and that's fair. The only thing I would really say is, I would never do a heavy kick there. That's, like, not worth it whatsoever. You should always look to hit confirm that, and if you see the light push like a hit, then only you would heavy kick. If I, like, the way I play that scenario is if the light punch light kick gets blocked, I don't do the heavy kick, and then I'll play a low throw mix up from there, or low high mix up from there. But if it hits, then I'll commit to it. But even then, you got granted a hit there, and confirming that would have been really hard if you didn't do crouching medium kick. But the point is, like, you got granted a hit there again, and after that you do the blah blah blah. I don't like doing the light kick heavy kick anymore. I think it's just a bad option. I would do the light kick fast fall. I don't know how confident you are at using that option, but if you have a bit of time to practice, I would use that sometime to, like, grind out that link. If you can hit that like 3 times in a row, then, like, that's, like, decent. You mess up that, like, you mess up on that mix up, that's fair. Again, I don't like that assist call because it's too close, and it's in an angle, like, if it's, I feel like you should call your assist in the spot where it's unavoidable as well. If it's unavoidable, especially because if it's unavoidable, there's very little reaction time needed for you to play that situation well, right?
I guess so.
Like, if you're reacting, okay. Let's assume in this spot, right? Let's assume in this spot you call your assist and you hit to block it, right? Like, the parasol is over here. Like, there's some parasol this way, and she's shooting the tier shot. What are the things you have that you have to react to here? You have to react to him jumping over the tier shot, like, kind of like that, and then, like, air dashing over or something. He can't jump forward and air dash back because the tier will just hit him. So that's already an option eliminated, right? If he tries to jump back and somehow avoids the tier shot, which is very unlikely given Philly's jump arc, but it can happen. Or he can jump back and then air dash forward or something, right? Or he has to block the fireball, or block the tier shot, and then he's going to get mixed up. Or he's going to avoid the tier shot by going under it or something. Which is really stupid. He shouldn't really attempt that. And it's a really hard rate on his call. Because, like, you could just hit him out of it or something, you know. There's a way to just fucking hit him. It's kind of unlikely. But anyway, the point is, once you've done that here, right? Let's assume he didn't do this. Like, let's assume we're at this spot again. Where is it? Right here. Let's assume, like, the tier shot just hit him. You can very easily confirm that. If he goes over it, there's very little time, very little reaction time for you that's required for you to go, oh, he jumped over my tier shot, because you can't air dash over it immediately. There's some jumping time that has to happen. So I would just call the assist in, like, this sort of spacing when he's on the ground, obviously, and just wait. If he's in the air and you call the tier shot, the reaction time needed for you is actually several orders of magnitude higher. You have to react, like, immediately to any hairball, any air dash, any falling button, any assist call, anything that can happen. Because for one, when he avoided the assist call, he can call his own one and come out and just hit you. That's such a terrible spot to play this assist, I think. And, like, so because of that, you got nothing out of your assist call. You got hit. He's not gonna confirm that because he fucked it up. You did the proper thing by not. Oh, what did you do here? I was gonna say you, like, confirmed it that it got blocked, but I feel like you didn't. Okay, so you did air dash, light punch into crouch light kick, and I don't know if you've studied that, whether that beats up back or not, but it just didn't beat it here. So be aware of that option next time. Like, do light punch. I would always do light punch light kick, unless you're trying to be the bowler guy and do the link that I found like a month or so ago. But that's not. I don't think that's a practical link. And in any case, you shouldn't be going for that anyway. But yeah, I would do air dash, light punch, light kick, and then go for the low, which would have hit him because he would have been stuck on the ground. And then you get the jumping heavy punch, but you didn't hit confirm it, or, like, you didn't get the link off it. No, okay, no, it's just super under DC would kill him here, and he gets to match out. He didn't do fucking high percent in the force, which is stupid.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I did throw there.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm not sure why I did throw there, actually.
You do that every time, that's why. That's like an autopilot thing for you. you see that the undizzy is super high and you always like throw them or something. Or you do a reset. You don't like look to super after that. Or in any case, I wouldn't even... let's look at that combo again. In this spot... Oh, Jesus Christ. In this spot, I would just do like landing with the jumping medium punch and then just do standing jab. Because that links in that you have enough undizzy for that combo, and then you could have even killed him from 1 bar. But in any case, when you do the heavy kick right here, you should have comboed into your 2 supers and you would have killed him for 2 bars. And then Parasol would have been in. But then he gets to mash out here, which is like you let his character live, he got to mash out, and he's got a safe character in. And he fucked up that link, which is fair. I fuck up that link sometimes.
It's a tough link.
Sorry, what?
It's a tough link, kind of.
You landed super early, so it's not really. Like, let's look at it. So you do DP, blah, blah, blah. You're already recovered by now. And you do the thing so late. Like, you can see that you were crouching there, but you just didn't do the input. So, it's like, you can just be a lot quicker at that. That worked out. Jesus Christ. And that worked out. And he's meshing like a monster. Jesus fucking Christ. And as he's happening, you react. Wow. He meshed some dumb shit. But that's demise, he'll do that sometimes.
So I don't know if light kick's a better wall bounce confirmed than light punch.
I like light punch always. I don't like hitting second light kick ever. I've just given up on that button. I've never used it. I don't like using it for combos. I don't like using it for anything.
Fair enough.
Also, like, I feel like you got gifted that last game because Demise just started doing stupid shit by the end of it. So, again, the jump medium punch. I don't know what that's meant to cover here. Maybe a forward jump or something? I don't know. It doesn't cover anything meaningful. I would dash back in this spot, like, cause he's either like jump back or like try to aggress at me. He's never called me. He would have never called me out for dashing back in this spot. So I'd have dash back, and call my assist. Because like also if playing it the assist at like this range, then again like your reaction time needed for that spot is a lot less strict. Like you always want to call your assist in a spot where the reaction times needed aren't that strict. With Big Band it's really easy because you kind of just call him at close range, and if it hits it's really easy to confirm. If it gets blocked it's like kind of easy to confirm that it got blocked, and then you can confirm off it. But it's also kind of experience stuff. But the point is, like, I wouldn't call Parasol right here unless you were making him blend into it, and I would back off and call Parasol at this range because there's very little he can really do about that. It's a free resource you get to put out. It's very hard for him to hit you for it because even if he calls his assist, he can kind of just body block the fireball and then Parasol goes through anyway. And that's kind of alright. And if he gets to block the tier shot here, then you won out in the assist battle here. I don't know how much sense I'm making right now. Again, you call the assist like where your reaction time needed for its usage is way higher than it needs to be because he's already jumping up like that. Like the immediate threat range for Philia in this spot is actually if you backdash right here, it's actually nothing. She can't hit you with anything, so it's really easy to back off and call the assist right here. And if he calls his, then you can just wait it out. And if he goes over of some kind, then it's very easy to react to what he's doing. Like that entire sequence in of itself is not very hard to react to. I can reliably hit him out of it with a Heavenly, which is a super motion I have to do. You have to just hit the standing heavy punch button, which is not that hard. You just hit one button and you get it.
Right.
So, again, like, a perspective multi-hit moves is kind of hard. Take the sweep. I think not taking the sweep is Kirby's bullshit. I would, in that spot, either be super confident with your standing light punch confirms or just do Gotcha Light Kick OTG. I would just do Gotcha Light Kick OTG. It's not worth it trying to do a long combo at that point anyway. So like just do a short combo to reset, get more meter out of it. But you drop that and mess it up. And this is some scrambly bullshit. Again, calling the assist at the range where the immediate threat is a lot more active. Because like you want to call your assist and then you want to wait, right? Like that's the thing that everybody does. But at the same time, if you're doing that, then you have to recognize how big the threat range is for him to just like hit you or something. Because you do this, you wait, and he's like already forward. You're already doing this. The parasol gets hit, which is not good because now you got locked out for a tiny bit. Like the threat range, you have to be just aware of it. And when you're jumping back and calling the assist, again, you're not protecting it really well. You're kind of just messing that up. And you got hit by standing hit punch there. If it was good for you, you'd be dead. But demise isn't. Demise is whatever. What the fuck? Okay. That's just janky as fuck. I wouldn't blame you for getting hit by that. Okay, Bear's supposed to come in. That sucks. He fucks up his combo. That's alright. Thing is there, a bar with throw is really good in that spot. Because the fireball is coming, you just grab him, and then the fireball goes through as you keep grabbing him. Or the grab animation happens. And because he was meshing some dumb shit, what was he meshing right here? Let's see. He's meshing like crouching light kick or whatever. Ah, I hate it. Okay. He tried to air dash again. Okay, never mind. Throw is not that scary. Throw is probably not gonna work there. Then light punch works out, I guess. I would have committed to the whole Labara string. Like just done something. It's kind of a tricky spot. I would have probably got stuck there too, so that's kind of the good thing about Tear Dart, I guess. Or Love Dart, whatever. Nice push block absolute guard, but doesn't work out because you don't do anything out of your push block. Okay. He does a long combo. I don't like that. Again, he throw. He should just kill you. Just spin the bar, homie. There you go.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So, like, we've mentioned, like, your execution and stuff. Oh, that's always an issue, right? Or rather, whenever we talked, I feel like it's always been some sort of an issue. Also, I love this review, by the way. It's sick. But the point is, so many times we've mentioned, like, your execution is bad and you should fix that. And I think you're actually doing a decent job at it. So, but you should continue doing that regardless. Even I should be doing that if I were to come back to this game. But I think your game plan is actually, like, so, like, it's just not there. And there's so many points where you actually had, like, a really, really strong neutral advantage. And you just gave that up by not playing that spot well. Because you, like, called the assist at the wrong time. You called the assist at, like, a time where he obviously got over it. And the reaction time needed was a lot faster. And not calling it in a spot where it's, like, either guaranteed to hit, or if he's going to go over it, then it's really easy to react with, like, an anti-air of some kind. Going under tier shot in the mirror is actually somewhat underrated, I think. Because Philly is actually not that great at hitting the slide. But that's not an option that's going to be that's not an option that's going to be showing up relatively soon, I feel. So that's something that I would, like, not care about for now. If he starts doing it, because he, like, the only reason he doesn't do that going under thing, because his reward is low, right? But it's also that it's, like, an unexpected option, and his higher reward stuff is already hitting you, so why would he do that? But he should do that, like, later. But the point is, whenever he's going above you, like, you don't react well with that. And there's so many spots where you can call your assist for a good mix up there, and you just don't. You just, like, mess that spot up so badly. So I don't know. I think moving forward, like, there's so many spots where I think if you want to take a break from just, like, grinding and just playing, especially because uni is starting, right? You are perfectly within your rights to do so. And I think during this time, you should probably look to actually work on improving your game plan, write it out, and whenever you get some time to play, which with uni is probably not a lot, you should, like, take that time and actively focus on improving your game plan. And, like, focus not about winning or losing. Like, that doesn't matter. It's just a fucking casual. Nobody cares. But if you focus on, like, actively working on your game plan and going, okay, in this spot, I didn't give up this hit. And after that, like, and because there's so many spots where you legitimately, like, there's sometimes where you earn hits but you drop it, which is sad feels. But at the same time, there are sometimes, like, where you were at a good spot and you only just needed to do one thing, but you didn't do it, and so you lost all the advantage because of that. So I think moving forward, like, just be more cognizant of that. Be like, if I call my assist at this point, like, and a lot of this comes from like just analysis and just watching things over and over, and recognizing spacings and recognizing timings and going, okay, if I was in this spot, what happens if I call my assist? Not a lot of stuff happens in not a lot of matchups. If the opponent has a brass assist or something, that's like the only thing you really got to be aware of. But that's nobody's playing brass over here at any point, so it's all good. Unless you play against CJ, I guess. But we can look over that. Look over that at some other point.
I guess
when you find like a CJ best of 3 or whatever. Anyway, like, I don't know. I will put this up on the YouTube, and you can watch it later for more coherence, I guess, because I'm kind of tired now, and I don't know if you were taking notes or not. But overall, I would say, like, you should really go back and try to fix your game plan, because I feel like it's just not coherent. And once you start working on your game plan, I feel like your execution is decently solid enough to where your hits like matter sometimes. Of course, you gotta keep working on it, not drop your stuff, get better, like properly practice hit confirms a lot more. But at the same time, like, the difference between me and you is that I always have a game plan. I always have like, okay, my opponent can do this is spacing. I can react with this, and this. I can't react with this, so I'll look out for that. And like, whatever else happens, I kind of just give that up. But I try to play the neutral in that. And once I've got the hit, I aim not to drop my combos. And of course, you don't aim to drop that either, but our success rate is different because I put in more effort. Or not more effort, like more hours, sorry. That's what I meant to say. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But,
that's fine.
like, if you work on your game plan, like, and you don't even need to play for this, I feel like. So many things you can just, like, work on by actively just watching. You can, like, message me, build a solid game plan, if you want to hear, like, how I play DBFZ. When I play DBFZ, I have, like, a very, very simple game plan. Like, I have my team go on rocket kick. If they're on the ground, I will hit them with it. If they're in the air, I want to try to hit them with jump light and bring them down and, like, try to punish them for that. And then whenever they're in the air, there's, like, a complex branch of options that pops out. Like, what if they double jump? What if they air dash? What if they super dash? Like, that sort of stuff I've, like, built in. But at the same time, like, because my game plan is decently solid, I feel like I'm never out of it in any way, because I know what I should be doing at each point. Whereas I feel like you kind of just, like, flail sort of aimlessly and go, I think this will maybe hit, but, like, by looking at the screen and also having a solid game plan, you can avoid a lot of that that uncertainty in your play and make it more certain. And also another thing is that the more certain you are when you play, the more your execution is going to be good, because you're not going to be doubting yourself. You're not going to go, oh, I landed my hit. What should I be doing now? Oh, I should be doing the combo. Whereas when you play more cleanly, you go, okay, I landed my hit because I knew I was going to land that hit. Now I know what my combo is going to be, so I'm not going to be focusing on panicking because I got a random hit and how should I convert it. As opposed to, you know what you're going to get and you know exactly what's going to happen once you've got that hit. Does that make sense?
So sort of like building a kind of flowchart.
Yeah, absolutely, like a flowchart. Like, if you ask CM, he had such an elaborate flowchart of what he wanted to do that it was really hard to beat him because of that. But at the same time, like, you could always tell that his game plan, like, you could always tell what his game plan was going to be. He did a couple of things in neutral and then he, like, beat it. And sometimes he would, like, change those things up, but he also just, you kind of just beat that. But at the same time, like, if you look at any one of us play, like, you look at Age play, Mao, Risky, Jedi, me, all of us have solid game plans that we recognize at least, like, 90% of the options that can happen against it, and kind of just be ready for what is going to happen and what spacings and what timings need to be, and what spacings and timings do we need to be aware of what options. Risky probably not as much, but he just does better fundamental stuff than everybody else anyway. Like, Age has a decent thing for that, Mao has a decent thing for that, I probably have one of the better things for that. Jedi is really, really good at that as well. That's probably, like, his defining strength, where his game plan is extremely sound and compact, and he knows what to do in what scenario. So, like, again, kind of to reiterate, I've been going over this for ages, but, like, once, like, if you have, like, you don't even need a lot of time for this. If you watch, like, any, like, you can pull up the Tuna with Bacon or whatever, and pull up random affiliate match and see where they, like, if there's a key moment or any kind. If you want if you want like more ability to recognize what's a key moment, we can go over that at a later date. But also like be able to recognize, okay, this is a thing that happened. What would I have done in this key moment? What did the opponent do? What did the other person do? And why did they do that? And whether what they did would work or not, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, like, again, you don't need to play actively for that. You can kind of watch videos and do that. Of course, the watching the screen, yes, what I meant. Watching the screen part is required, like, you have to play the game for that. But I feel like if you go into matches with a more active learning mindset, where you are ready to go like, hey, I'm going to do this from this session. I'm looking to learn this from my session. You will get a lot better at that a lot faster, as opposed to just like mindlessly grinding out games where you don't really know you don't really have like a solid opinion of what you want to be working on as you're playing it, which is I think really weak. So I will put this up on YouTube. I'll stop recording in a bit, and I will see you later, my dude.
Well, thanks, Yuma.
Cheers, brother. Again, like my uni's also starting, so I'm not sure how often I will be available to help with like long stuff like this. But whenever you like chuck me a message, I should generally be able to reply to you soon enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, have a good one. I'll stop the recording.